Carlos Moreira is founder and chairman of WiseKey. Now, I know some of people already came up to me and said, you got a guy from whiskey with you. No, that's WiseKey, not whiskey. WIS standing for World Internet Security. His company works with and advises football clubs around the globe, and he'll tell you about what he's doing and how and why and whether it's working.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Thiago Marques. I'm the head of digital of Benfica. I think you heard about our club. We have an ecosystem, okay? We have apps, we have single sign-on, we are preparing a CRM program. We have it all, basically. The only thing that we don't have is we don't have all the fans that we have on our Facebook, in our website, or in our database. Is there a way of monetizing fans using their digital identification, but without the need of them having an app from Benfica? Why? Because not everybody wants to have an app from Benfica. Sure. And in fact, not when you talk about Lady Gaga, there is an amount of news, exclusive content that we cannot put out there. No. That's it. That's the rules of the game. Yeah. So because we cannot engage that often with our fans or with the things that everybody wants, is that a way that we can use a digital identification without apps, without those kind of things that you were discussing earlier?
Yeah, absolutely. The digital ID is not an app. It's not a Facebook. It's not a like. It's who you are. It's equivalent to a KYC, know your customer compliance by a bank. So those are digital certificates. You know, when you do HTTPS in a website, the S is a certificate and is the digital ID of the site. So you have the same technology for the person. So the only thing, I mean, Benfica, you have millions of fans plus 220 million people speak Portuguese around the world. You could send an email just to them, offering them with one click through an email to register into your CRM with their digital certificate. So basically, they're going to fill a form, they're going to register, and you're going to download for them the digital certificate directly through your email. And that constitutes already your digital ID.
We do that.
You do that?
Yeah. We are the biggest club in the world in the membership. And we send emails to our members. What I'm saying is, not all of them will answer.
No, but that's the ground zero activity. What you're saying is that how can I get the ones that they are in Facebook into my actually, they are not in Facebook. That's an illusion that your fans are in Facebook. Your fans are people in Facebook that likes your club. Yeah. So they are not your fans. They just like your club. They like many other things. I mean, you can like 1,000 things in Facebook, and it's not for that, then you are a fan of each of them. You just like that. So what you need to do, and Facebook allows that, is to run campaigns to extract these people directly to your CRM. And there's a lot of technology that allows to do analytics. I mean, we can, analytics per country, per age, all that is available in our days.
Carlos,
and that downloads the likes.
Sorry to interrupt you. That I fully understand. What I'm saying is, what about the guys that don't want to engage directly with us, but we know that are engaging with us in other platforms? For instance, I have 2.5 million guys in my Facebook page fan, plus another 500,000 in other platforms. But I don't have them all. I don't know them all, and I will not know them all. Never. So how can I monetize those? No. That's the key issue here, because we already monetize almost 250,000 members, socios. We already monetize 300. In our Benfica TV channel, we are one of the biggest in Portugal. So that's the issue for us. It's the surplus. So how can I make money with the guys that will never engage with me directly, but are in my Facebook page, in my Twitter account, in the Twitter accounts, etc., 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 without having them.
That's less a technology issue; it's more an incentivization issue. I mean, we had projects with Flamingo, for instance. Flamingo have the same problem, and they use their sponsors to create an incentivization program to register directly with the club and download the app. The final destination is download the app, and they made a promotion with Peugeot, which is the t-shirt company, to get an incentivation if you download the identity of the club, which also allow you to participate in some promotions with Peugeot. You can do that with your sponsors. Actually, that's the secret, to work with your sponsor, because your sponsor will like to build with you their CRM, which will be good for them as well, because they will reach out. But this is more, it's less a technology issue, it's more an incentivization issue, maintaining your own ownership of the identity. We can discuss that later if you wish, and we give you some ideas.
But will Facebook allow that?
No, as I say, Facebook cannot not allow that. They do not allow it, but they cannot not allow it. Okay. So there are ways of doing it.
And it's still old economy. I mean, it's still very boring old economy. It's still sponsor. It's still advertising. I mean, it's sharper, it's closer, it's directly related to the situation. But a sponsor is looking for different processes and emotional engagements and intelligent storytellings and fascinating products and services coming by being partner of a club. So if you have a sponsored tweet or a sponsored advertising in Facebook, it's still, oh my God, I mean, it's still like, that's...
And again, I love Facebook and I use Facebook, but we need to stop to mystify Facebook, okay? Facebook, even their own people, they are not authenticated. Just, I don't know if you try to search for dogs in Facebook, you will have millions of dogs already registered in Facebook. So the identity of the fan in Facebook is not the one you want to have. The one you want to have is the one the gentleman from Benfica say, is your own CRM where you know that this is actually a fan of your club. The likes, the 90 million likes of Ronaldo in Facebook is not a reference. It's good for Ronaldo ego, but it's not a reference. I mean, you cannot say, I have 90 million fans. I have 90 million people that were in Facebook one day and press the button like. The button like in Facebook is going to be the next button, which is going to be buy. So it's a strategy for Facebook to create a relation with you so you become a consumer and you become an e-commerce consumer, which is the next step on the revolution. But your fans are much better quality than any like Facebook will ever have.
Very quick question. We all understand that big data is the new oil. Now, from what you said, you're transferring the profit generation from social media platforms into a new ecosystem that the club can better control, better manage. Now, of course, we all know that this as well is deriving profit generation to the app maker. So the app maker will generate significant profit from this. What is the best way, according to the panel, to protect the data for the club?
Yeah. So I mean, protect data is not possible anymore. Let's be very clear. I mean, with the current technology, everybody lost their data. We all lost our data, so it's gone. We will never get it back. One of the things we can still protect is your identity. I mean, data, it's composed by two blocks. One is what you call PII, which is personal identifiable information. It's who you are, where you live, what is your behavior, when are you going to get married, when are you going to get divorced. All that is your PII. And the rest of the data is what you do. I play golf, I like soccer, I like tennis. So if you encrypt the PII, which is what we do, I mean, my company in Switzerland helps the Swiss people to vote online through a mobile phone, for instance. So we encrypt the who you are, it has to be always encrypted. So fans of Real Madrid, I don't want the Real Madrid to know who I am. This is private. I don't mind Real Madrid to know what I do. So what I do is public, and you can monetize as much as you can, but who I am belongs to the user. Now, the good news is that what I do has a huge value nowadays, because the what I do is what Facebook and Twitter and all these guys monetizes. But because they are so invasive in the way they collect data, they also monetize the PII, and that is illegal, by the way. Now the European Union and many countries are saying, hey, wait a minute, you cannot monetize the PII. So if you design a good strategy on relations with your fans, and you are honest as a club, say, we don't want to data mine you, we don't want to put who you are in the clouds, but we don't mind if you mind to work in what you do. And in exchange, we're going to give you a reward, because this is the currency of the fan versus the club. We're going to give you free tickets to come into the stadium. We're going to give you free merchandising. We're going to give you all the incentives. Then you start to see a very emotional relation to work with you and not with the platform, because everybody's pissed off with the platforms collecting and data mining so much illegal data that they have no right to do so. So actually, this is a very powerful marketing pitch when you are going to be talking to your fans. Then you're going to do it in a way that is ethical, and it's not going to be extracting data which is not authorized.
Simon, did you want to say something?
I was to the earlier question, but it's okay.
Okay, we'll move on then to the final question here.
Yeah, Casper Claude from One Football. Just a quick question basically to you, Carlos and Oliver. I mean, you've been pitching the whole concept of identity totally fine, and we at One Football, we are kind of following the same streams there, we totally believe it. And my question would be rather, if you say the end goal, of course, is the download of the club app, the club entity basically, for the fan, and then you're saying there's a huge revenue potential, how are you going to engage the fan? How is the club going to engage the fan long term, every day basically? Because yes, there is content to a certain extent, but that's definitely not enough to engage the fan every day, years and years, to then have such a huge revenue potential.
Okay, maybe I don't want to, just two seconds, and after I give the floor to the next speaker. The app, what it does is actually organizes the data of the club. So the identity is the key of opening the app, so you can access the data. The organization of the data depends on the club. I mean, FC Barcelona has a total different app than Madrid and so on. We're not standardizing apps. But the fact that the data is encrypted, for instance, now we are discussing the possibility of broadcasting matches online through the app to China, for instance. Nobody sells Real Madrid and playing against Bayern Munich in China directly. And through the internet will be great if they can do so, but for that they need to encrypt the content, because otherwise people will pick up the content on the internet and decrypt the content through the identity. And identity is also a decryption technology. So when you are a fan, it's like a box in a Swiss bank, right? You have the key that opens your box, and then the club, which is the bank, has the other key, and both of them needs to be at the same time in order to access the content. So you could basically provide transactional services, movies, matches online, real-time competitions through that identity, and let the user through that identity decrypt the channel, as you do with a Canal Plus card, to access the content. And that creates a very, very emotional relation between the club and the fan, which no platform in the world is able to replicate, because they don't have
I get the whole concept, thanks. I mean, that's kind of our core business as well. Just the question would be, and yes, you could offer all kind of values, you could incentivize, reward the old kind of shop e-commerce models. But at the end of the day, what you want actually is a fan who's on your platform every day, engaged. And the engagement bit is, of course, the important one. Because yes, knowing the fan, fair enough. But I just doubt that a club can actually engage a fan long-term on its own entity. Yes, there's content, match day content most of the time, highlight content, yes, understood. But then what else? I mean, there's 7 days of the week, right?
But then you need to start to think, okay, you did a great thing, which is you have already your fans database, you have your identities. Now I start to think in terms of a platform. This is the same problem everybody has. How you can, in a platform, create content, creating interactions, creating games, creating things that brings these people all the time. One other thing actually is payment. Payment forces people. There's a lot of clubs that they are saying with those new iPhones and many Android, you can now pay online. What about if you pay with identity of your club? So those are the things that are going to be there within question of months for you to grab. Another thing is predictability. Remember this word, predictability. The entire industry now is trying to predict what your fan is going to do next. Where it's going to travel, where it's going to buy, when it's going to buy clothes, and this is a huge market. This is bigger than the market of social media, predictability. And this is how you collect predictability, by knowing so much about your fans. So keep it there. Your main asset is already there with you, which is the identity of those 70 million fans. That is the oil. Then the market will teach you many other ways of monetizing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question was, will the football industry ever make a profit from the social media hype? I hope that we've helped you answer that question. Thanks very much for your expertise, guys. Thank you. Good job. Really good job. Thank you. Thanks, Oliver.